Ngozi was a bright young girl with a lot of determination. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Obi, were hardworking but struggled to make ends meet. Despite their challenges, they valued education and knew that Ngozi was special. When the opportunity arose for a scholarship at an elite school in Enugu, they encouraged Ngozi to apply. Ngozi worked hard and was thrilled when she received the scholarship. It was her chance to learn and achieve great things. However, she felt nervous about attending a school where most of the students came from wealthy families. On her first day, Ngozi walked into the classroom, her heart pounding with excitement and nerves. She wore her best dress, even though it was a little worn, and carried her books in an old but neat school bag. As she entered, she noticed the other students staring at her. Some giggled and pointed at her shoes, which were a little scuffed. One of the students, a boy named Chuka, laughed loudly. "Look at those shoes. Did you get them from the garbage?" Ngozi's cheeks burned with embarrassment, and she quickly found a seat at the back of the classroom, wishing she could disappear. The day felt long, and during breaks, she sat alone, pretending to read, while the other students chatted and played. The sun was shining brightly as Kamsi got down from an expensive car that took her school one Monday morning, her expensive backpack glistening in the light. As she looked around, she noticed a girl sitting alone under a tree. Curious, Kamsi walked over. "Hi, I'm Kamsi. Do you mind if I sit here?" Kamsi asked, smiling. The girl looked up and nodded. "I'm Ngozi. Nice to meet you." Kamsi sat down, and the two began talking. Ngozi was shy but kind. Kamsi was genuinely interested in Ngozi's stories and didn't seem to care about her worn-out shoes or old school bag. Ngozi felt a warmth she hadn't experienced since she arrived. They laughed and shared stories, and soon the bell rang, signaling the start of classes. As Kamsi spent more time with Ngozi, her other friends started to notice. One afternoon, as Kamsi was heading to sit with Ngozi, her friend Chioma pulled her aside. "Kamsi, why are you hanging out with her? Don't you see her clothes and shoes?" Chioma said, wrinkling her nose. Kamsi frowned. "Ngozi is nice and really smart. It doesn't matter what she wears." Chioma shrugged. "Suit yourself, but people are talking." Kamsi felt a little sad that her friends couldn't see Ngozi the way she did, but she refused to let them change her mind. As the weeks went by, Kamsi and Ngozi's friendship grew stronger. However, the other students continued to whisper and laugh when they saw them together. It made Ngozi feel bad, even though she tried to hide it. One day, as they walked together through the school courtyard, a group of students laughed and pointed. "Look, the princess and the pauper," one of them jeered. Ngozi's heart sank. She didn't want Kamsi to be teased because of her. That afternoon, as they sat under their usual tree, Ngozi turned to Kamsi. "Kamsi, maybe it's better if we stop being friends. I don't want you to get teased because of me," Ngozi said quietly. Kamsi shook her head, determined. "No, Ngozi. You're my friend, and I don't care what they say. We'll get through this together." Encouraged by Kamsi's unwavering support, Ngozi felt a little braver each day. She started to ignore the whispers and laughter, focusing on her studies and her friendship with Kamsi. Kamsi admired Ngozi's strength and often told her so. "You're amazing, Ngozi. You're not just smart, but brave too. One day, everyone will see that." One day, Kamsi invited Ngozi to her house. "Would you like to come over this Saturday? We can watch movies and have fun." Ngozi hesitated, knowing Kamsi's family was wealthy, but Kamsi reassured her. "Don't worry, my parents are nice." On Saturday, Ngozi arrived at Kamsi's house, marveling at the grandeur of the mansion. Kamsi greeted her at the door, excited to show her friend around. One day, Kamsi invited Ngozi over to her house to study together. Ngozi was excited but nervous. She wore her best dress and hoped Kamsi's family would like her. When they arrived, Kamsi's mother, Mrs. Okafor, greeted them at the door. "Who is this, Kamsi?" Mrs. Okafor asked, looking at Ngozi with surprise. "This is Ngozi, my friend from school," Kamsi replied cheerfully. Mrs. Okafor's smile faded slightly. "Oh, I see. Well, you girls have fun studying." As they studied, Kamsi noticed her mother watching them with a frown and she pulled Kamsi aside. "Kamsi, we need to talk." In the kitchen, Mrs. Okafor frowned. "Kamsi, you shouldn't be friends with people like her. You should associate with those from families like ours." Kamsi was confused. "But Ngozi is nice, and she's my friend." Mrs. Okafor shook her head. "Friends should be people who can help you in the future. Think of the benefits." "But, Mom, Ngozi is a great friend. She's smart and kind," Kamsi replied, confused. Mrs. Okafor shook her head. "I just don't think it's wise, Kamsi." Feeling upset about her mother's reaction, Kamsi decided to talk to her father, Mr. Okafor. She found him in his study, reading a newspaper. "Dad, can I talk to you?" Kamsi asked. "Of course, Kamsi. What's on your mind?" Mr. Okafor replied, putting down his paper. Kamsi explained everything about Ngozi and how her mother didn't approve of their friendship. Mr. Okafor listened carefully and then smiled gently. "Kamsi, I'm proud of you for seeing beyond appearances. Friendship should be about kindness and understanding, not just about what people can offer us," Mr. Okafor said. He continued, "We all have something to learn from one another, and it's important to treat everyone with respect. Keep being a good friend to Ngozi, and don't let others change who you are." Kamsi felt a wave of relief and happiness. "Thanks, Dad. I knew you'd understand." Mr. Okafor nodded. "Remember, Kamsi, true wealth isn't about money. It's about the love and kindness we share with others." With her father's encouragement, Kamsi felt more confident in her friendship with Ngozi, knowing she was doing the right thing. Despite her mother's warning, Kamsi continued her friendship with Ngozi. They met at school and spent time together, supporting each other through thick and thin. One day, Kamsi found Ngozi looking sad under the tree where they first met. "What's wrong?" Kamsi asked, sitting down beside her. Ngozi sighed. "My parents are struggling. I want to help them, but I don't know how." Kamsi hugged her friend. "You're smart and strong, Ngozi. I believe in you."